Today marks 45 years since the first Britons conquered the treacherous south face of Everest.
The mystery footprints were about 12 inches long and 5 inches wide.
They didn't look like the footprints of a man, a bear, or a yak.
Everest, the iconic mountain, needs no introduction. Just uttering its name brings to mind a plethora of images and stories from its captivating and often controversial history. From the triumphant first ascent by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay to the tragic tales of those who have met their end on its slopes, the narrative of Komalangma is steeped in mystery and intrigue. Located on the border of Nepal and Tibet, Everest's summit soars to a staggering height of 8,848 meters, making it the tallest mountain in the world. But its geography is not just about its awe-inspiring altitude. It is a complex landscape of glaciers, crevices, and seracs, with treacherous icy slopes and rocky cliffs that pose challenges even to the most experienced climbers. This enigmatic mountain has not only lured adventurers and mountaineers, but has also witnessed some of the most bizarre and inexplicable events in mountaineering history. So join us as we delve into the top 7 mysterious occurrences on Mount Everest that will leave you utterly spellbound. Number 7. The man who tried to climb Everest in high heels. When it comes to Everest, it has attracted its fair share of fanatics, eccentrics, and colourful characters over the years. But none have been quite as outlandish as Englishman Maurice Wilson. Back in 1933, Wilson concocted a wild plan to fly into the northern slopes of Everest, crash-land his plane, and then embark on a solo climb to the summit. He even trained in Britain, honing his hiking and flying skills in a gypsy moth plane before heading to Darjeeling to prepare for his daring escapade by fasting and praying. However, realizing the folly of his plane idea, Wilson set off on foot across the Rongbuk Glacier on May 22, 1934, with no climbing equipment or experience whatsoever. His journey was cut short by an ice wall, and his body was found the following year, dressed, as some claim, in women's lingerie. It was later discovered that Wilson was a cross-dresser who had worked in a women's clothes store in New Zealand before becoming consumed by the Everest mania that would ultimately lead to his demise. In 2003, there was a proposal that Wilson might have reached the summit of Everest and perished on his descent, but skepticism remains about whether an inexperienced amateur like Wilson could have climbed the mountain unassisted. Did Wilson actually reach the summit, and what compelled him to attempt such a daring feat on Everest remains an intriguing mystery to this day. Number 6. The Yeti. Deep in the mountains of Asia, there lurks a legendary creature, the Yeti. Once better known as the Abominable Snowman, this mysterious bipedal being is said to roam the remote regions of Russia, China, and Nepal. Some claim to have seen its tracks in the snow, while others believe it dwells below the Himalayan snowline. Despite numerous expeditions and searches, the existence of the Yeti remains unproven. Descriptions of the Yeti vary, with reports of a muscular creature covered in dark greyish or reddish-brown hair, weighing between 200 and 400 pounds and standing around 6 feet tall, shorter than North America's Bigfoot. Yet there have been many accounts of Yetis in various shapes and sizes. Many of the earliest sightings of the Yeti come from the Everest region, where local Nepali and Tibetan tribes have folklore of a hairy nocturnal creature living in their midst. In recent times, there have been notable findings that have lent credibility to these claims. For instance, footprints discovered at 6,000 meters by Eric Shipton's 1951 Everest expedition, and a Yeti scalp found in Kunjung's monastery on Everest's south side. In 2009, Joshua Gates and his Destination Truth team uncovered hair samples from footprints that contained an unknown DNA sequence, adding to the intrigue. However, like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster, the Yeti lacks hard proof of its existence. Despite some pieces of evidence that have surfaced over the years, decades of searches have failed to provide concrete evidence. Yet true believers remain undeterred, viewing the lack of proof as a testament to Yeti's rare, reclusive, and elusive nature. For now, the mystery of the Yeti continues to shroud the snowy slopes of Mount Everest, leaving us captivated by the legend of this enigmatic creature. Number 5. Ghosts of Everest. Sherpa Pemba Dorje is a name that echoes through the climbing world for not one, but two reasons. First, he holds the record for the fastest ascent of Everest, a mind-boggling 8 hours and 10 minutes achieved on May 21, 2004. But it's what happened just 3 days later, on May 24, that sent chills down his spine and made him a believer in the supernatural. As Dorje approached the summit from the South Col, he stumbled upon a group of frozen bodies, remnants of climbers who had perished on the treacherous slopes. That's when he claims he had an otherworldly encounter. In his own records, when I paused at a mound of rocks, I saw some spirits in the form of black shadows coming towards me, stretching their hands and begging for something to eat. Dorje believed these were the souls of the mountaineers who had lost their lives during and after their ascent of Mount Everest, still lingering on the mountain. He even saw the body of a climber who had died from a fall, still hanging from a rope. Many Sherpas share Dorje's belief that the ghosts of Everest won't find peace until the bodies of the deceased are given a proper burial. However, with numerous corpses stranded in the death zone above 8,000 meters and more joining them each year, it's unlikely that the mountain will be free from ghostly encounters anytime soon. Number 4. The Third Person. In September 1975, British mountaineers Dougal Haston and Doug Scott found themselves in a perilous situation on Everest. After reaching the summit late in the day, they were forced to spend a night in the treacherous death zone, where the air is thin and survival is a constant battle. With no other options, they dug a snow hole and huddled together, uncertain if they would make it through the night. As their oxygen ran out and their butane heater neared depletion, their situation seemed utterly dire. But then something inexplicable occurred. Both climbers reported sensing another presence in the snow cave with them, a presence that not only shared its vital body heat, but also offered advice and suggestions to help them stay warm and alive. It was as if an unseen force was watching over them, providing them with the guidance and support they needed to endure the harsh conditions. And they were not alone. Other climbers who have tackled Everest, including well-known names like Peter Hillary, Lincoln Hall, and Reinhold Messner, have also reported similar experiences of a mysterious presence coming to their aid in their time of need. It's a phenomenon that defies explanation, leaving us to wonder who or what could be looking out for these climbers on the unforgiving slopes of Everest. Number 3. Ueli Stek. In April 2017, the world of mountaineering was rocked by a tragic loss. Ueli Stek, known as the Swiss Machine, had set out on an audacious mission to climb both Everest and Lhotse in one go, a feat that had never been accomplished before. Stek was no ordinary climber. He was the Michael Jordan, Lionel Messi, Babe Ruth, or Usain Bolt of the mountaineering world. His track record of speed records and accolades, including the prestigious Piolet d'Or, spoke volumes about his unparalleled skill and ability for the remarkable. Stek was not only fast, but he was also one of the most accomplished mountaineers of his generation, known for his technical prowess, grace, and comfort on even the most impossibly difficult routes. So how did such a seasoned and skilled climber meet his untimely end? Stek fell on the Western Cwm, a route he had climbed before and one that was considered part of the standard tourist route to the top of Everest. For a climber of Stek's caliber, this ascent should have been routine, a mere training exercise for his upcoming Everest Lhotse challenge, as revealed by his climbing partner Tenji Sherpa. It was a route he knew well, and the challenges it posed should have been well within his capabilities. The news of Stek's demise was met with shock and disbelief in the international climbing community. How could this happen to someone so skilled and experienced? Did he slip? Did the ice or snow give way? Did altitude-related illness take its toll? The truth of what happened to mountaineering's most acclaimed star that day may never be known for sure. As was often the case in Stek's illustrious career, he was climbing alone at the time of the accident, with the nearest eyewitness over a mile away. The circumstances surrounding his tragic fall remain a mystery, adding to the enduring enigma of the world's highest mountain. The loss of Ueli Stek was not only a blow to the world of mountaineering, but also a poignant reminder of the inherent risks and uncertainties of conquering nature's most formidable challenges. Number 2, the deaths that never were. On May 22, 2017, a chilling discovery sent shockwaves through Everest Base Camp. 4 lifeless bodies were found in a tent at Camp 4, perched at a treacherous altitude of 7,950 meters, 26,082 feet. The climbers were presumed to have succumbed to the deadly grip of altitude sickness, a notorious killer on the world's highest peak. The grim find was made by a team sent to retrieve the body of a fellow climber from Slovakia who had tragically lost his life just 3 days prior during his ascent. However, as the news spread like wildfire across the globe, confusion quickly set in. None of the climbing agencies on the mountain reported any missing climbers or had anyone unaccounted for. Who were these 4 ill-fated individuals? The mystery deepened as the Nepalese Tourism Ministry spoke up, suggesting that the bodies could belong to climbers from a previous year's expedition. But even that theory fell apart when it was revealed that none of those expeditions had reported any unaccounted-for climbers either. The case remains open, a haunting puzzle that adds to the long list of mysteries that have befallen Earth's highest and most enigmatic mountain. What happened to these 4 climbers at Camp 4 on that fateful day? The answer eludes us, shrouded in mystery. Number 1. The mysterious UFO. Recently, a 2 billion pixel photo of the Himalayas caught the attention of skywatchers, revealing a dark shape in the sky that many believe to be an alien spacecraft. This couldn't be dismissed as a mere drone, as it was spotted at a height where drones can't possibly fly, and it cast a distinct silhouette against the sky. The image was meticulously constructed by mountaineer and filmmaker David Breashears, who stitched together 477 photos to create a breathtakingly detailed mosaic of the world's tallest mountain, from its base camp, where hundreds of climbers prepared for their ascent, all the way up to the vast sky above. But this photo seemed to have captured more than just the mountain range. UFO Today, a vigilant group that investigates extraterrestrial phenomena, analysed the image and speculated about the existence of secret underground bases similar to Area 51 in the vicinity. Rumours abound about such bases in the remote Ladakh border area between India and China, which is virtually inaccessible to most. Intriguingly, declassified files from last year revealed that there have been 7 reported UFO sightings in the region since 1968, adding to the enigma of the strange disc-shaped object hovering above Everest. Could it be evidence of otherworldly activity in the Himalayas? Let us know in the comments below.